Hey guys, today we're gonna be doing a deck tech on my 4-color Kiki-Chord list. I play this deck because I like decks with a lot of options and that can take multiple routes, and it's not really just like one solid game plan. You can either take it the combo route, or you can take it the beatdown route, or you can just do like a mid-range style control-y play with this deck. I play it because it kind of reminds me of Pod, and I liked Pod a lot. Okay, we're gonna start off with the land base. Our land base consists of 23 lands, I'm pretty sure. I haven't counted it in a while. I've been playing this deck for the better part of like a year and a half, I think. So I'm pretty familiar with it. We have 8 fetches, 4 windswept heaths, and 4 wooded foothills, because it gets us the right color mana on time, and it thins our deck. And it's also really good with Course of kruphix. We got our one of like utility lands, kind of. Horizon Canopy is just really good because it taps for a white or a green. At the cost of 1 life, of course, but the 1 life doesn't really matter because we have Courser and we have Lone Missionary and Obstinate Baloth. And we have a bunch of walls against the aggressive decks, so the 1 life doesn't really come into play that much. And also, sacks the draw card, which is always good. You have a Ghost Quarter to get rid of Tron, Raging Ravines, Creeping Tar Pits, any type of pesky land that we need to get rid of. It's also really good with... It helps manifest us sometimes to get the 3rd red source for Kiki-Jiki a lot of the time. And it's just really good. We have a Firelight Thicket that help us cast Kiki-Jiki. And I'll double green spells. We got one Raging Ravine, because it's really good in the grindier matchups like Blue Moon and the control matchups, because they can't really do much against it. We have one Overgrown Tomb for our black splash. We splash black for a Sin Collector in the sideboard and 1 Pontiff main deck. And we just sometimes need to cast it. We have a Sacred Foundry. We have 1 Temple Garden. I used to have 2 Temple Gardens, but I cut it down to 1 in replace of the Horizon Canopy, because Canopy's OP. And we have 2 Stomping Grounds to help us cast Kiki-Jiki. We have 2 Thickets. I don't know if I think I might cut this down to 1 soon, because a lot of the time it makes me not able to cast Resto Angel on 4 if I don't have the ramp to it for 3, and that's really annoying. And for our basics, we got 2 basic forests, 1 mountain, and 1 plains, just because I don't want to die to burn. And also, Blue Moon's a thing sometimes. Now for the spells. You got 4 Quarter Calling, the namesake of the deck, the whole reason that you play it. And the reason I play it, because I like decks with toolboxy type structures. We got 3 Voices because it helps us go in the beatdown plan sometimes if we need to, and it's also really good against control. So if they want to like counter our Quarter Calling and we have this on 2, then they just kind of die to like a 4/4 token. Our ramp, we have 4 Birds of Paradise because it mana fixes us and helps us get that 3rd red for Kiki sometimes. And we got 2 Waller Roots. The Waller Roots is good in this deck if you don't know, because you can put a -0, -1 counter on it and add a green. You can also tap it for Convoke, if you didn't know that. But that's pretty common knowledge. We got 2 Waller Omens, because it gets value off Resto Angel Blinks. It's also good against Burn, because you can just block other stuff, and like the Zoo decks. We have 3 Resto Angels, 2 Witnesses, and 1 Kiki. This is one of the main combos if you didn't know. Not too many people are familiar with this deck, because not a lot of people play it. But the combo is you Quarter Calling for E-Witness. When E-Witness comes in, you get back Quarter Calling to your hand. Next turn, conveniently, you have 1 more dude, so you can cord for 1 more for Resto Angel. Then when Resto Angel comes in, you blink E-Witness, get this back. And then on whenever you untap, I usually do it on my untap step, or my upkeep, because I don't want to risk drawing the Kiki-Jiki. If I know that I can resolve it and kill them, then I usually do it on my upkeep. I'll cord for Kiki-Jiki and kill them with Resto Kiki combo. I love it because it's just a 1-card combo that wins the game. All you need is a cord to go off. Now for our one-ofs. We have 1 Reveillark, because it's good in like Jund matchups and anything with removal Abzan. It's alright against Abzan because most of their stuff they just kind of path us. But it's also a 4/3 flyer, which is a pretty large body to deal with. And if they kill it, then you just get value. We got 1 fulminator for Tron. We got a Pontiff, the whole reason that we play black. It's really good at Lingering Souls, Infect, and anything with a lot of dorks, like maybe some Abzan decks, run hierarchs and birds, and it's really good against those. And occasionally I will like pump two birds and a resto for the kill, or something stupid like that. We have one spellskite because it's too good not to play, and it's just we chord for it and then they lose against infect, and we chord for it and we save our combo. We chord for it and we prevent their Bogle's deck from killing us. It's too good not to play. Revoker, this used to be a Aven Mind Sensor, but Mind Sensor was just kind of bad for me. Even though a lot of people said it was good, it was just kind of terrible. I put in Revoker because Tron's a really hard matchup, and it pretty much counters a Nugan sometimes. And it's also good against like Liliana and stuff like that. And anything, it's kind of a catch-all. We got one Courser, this used to be 2, but I cut it down to 1 in place of the Mind Sensor, which then got cut for the Revoker. And I like it because Courser, it's like having 2 of them is really good against the aggressive matchups, but a lot of the time it doesn't do a lot. Like the 1 life isn't too relevant all the time. The top card is really good. It pretty much draws an extra card a turn. And it's also super good with fetch lands and Court Calling itself. So I like it, but I would probably never chord for it. I don't think I've ever chorded for it. It's just kind of a fill creature. We got Lone Missionary and for the burn matchups. If you resto a Lone Missionary, you pretty much win against Zoo, Burn, any of the aggressive matchups. We have one qasali because it's enchantment removal you can chord for, and it's also a beater. We have one P and Kiran, normal creature removal you can chord for, or burn if you need to kill him the next turn. We got one Scooze, Scavenging Ooze, because it's good against like Jund, Abzan, slower matchups. Eats Lingering Souls, eats Snapcasted spells. It's just good, and it grows big and kills them. We have our removal package, kind of. 2 Nahiri is really good. I think not a lot of the decks use it anymore. I don't know why. It does everything you want it to do, and it's just a really good late game and early game spell. I mean, it discards lands to draw cards, help you get your combo faster. It exiles stuff. It's really good against Blood Moon, and it just kills stuff if you need to, because this deck doesn't have a lot of ways to remove creatures. And its ultimate pretty much gets a combo piece and wins. I don't use the Emrakul because it's stupid. We have 4 Path to Exiles because it's the best removal in Modern, and any white deck should be playing it. That's the main deck. 61 cards, I'm pretty sure, because it's an extra card you can chord for. It kind of makes sense. I might cut it down to 60. We got 15 cards sideboard. We got one. It has a lot of one-ofs because, you're playing Court Calling. It's like a toolbox package. We got one Island Rhetoric against the Snapcaster decks. Storm, sometimes that's relevant. Not too much. Really good against Ad Nauseam, though. Really good against Ad Nauseam. We got 2 Lightning Helixes. This is self-explanatory. It's good against burns, good against anything with small creatures. I will bring it in against Infect decks, just because the extra removal is really handy, because the only mover that we have against Infect is Path to Exile and Spellskite. And, well, Spellskite's not really removal, but it's still good. And this is it's a fast answer, because a lot of the time you don't have time to chord for the Spellskite, or chord for the qasali, or just draw the path. And Nahiri's way too slow against Infect, doesn't do anything. Mind Sensor, I'm probably going to cut this from the side because it's never really come in handy for me. I mean, it's good against the other Kiki-Chord matchups, but no one really plays that where I play. And it's alright against Coco because, they just kind of kill you fast enough for you to even get this down. And they always have Coco as a backup plan. We got 2 Stony Silences because Affinity is a super hard matchup, and we can't really do much against it. We got a Crumble against Tron. We got 1 Kataki for Affinity again, because answer for Affinity you can chord for. If you can get it like turn 3, turn 4, you kind of win. Spellskite, Bogles, Infect, anything with removal. 1 more Courser against the burn matchups, and sometimes the slower matchups, so you can squeeze out value from your fetches. 1 more Scavenging Ooze, same reason as it was in the main deck, because it's just too good. 1 Sin Collector for stuff like Scapeshift, which is really hard to deal with for us. We actually can't deal with Scapeshift if we don't kill them fast enough, or draw this and take the Scapeshift, because we have no way to stop the damage from happening except for this. So that's kind of a need. And it's also good against control decks with like Cryptic Command and stuff. Baloth, good against the Liliana, the burn matchups. If you resto this against a burn deck, then you win. 1 Reclamation Sage, Affinity again, so that we can chord for. And that's a Kiki-Chord deck list. I've been playing this for like a year and a half, and I really enjoy it because it kind of reminds me of Pod. And Pod was really fun. I like decks with options. Okay, sweet.